Not everyone who raises their hand is a traveler. Stop doesn't always mean arrival. Some roads don't take you where you want to go, and some are already cursed. David Carter, 32 years old, a professional photographer. He had traveled to a remote part of America, Colorado's mountain roads, for a new project. After finishing his shoot, he set out for his hotel late at night. The weather? Rainy. The road? Almost completely deserted. As he was driving along the narrow, winding mountain roads, he saw something. He liked helping people. In the storm, he braked, slowly rolled down his window. "Hey, the weather's bad. Do you want me to drop you off somewhere?" The man nodded slightly. Got in? No words. David couldn't see his face. The silence in the car became unbearable, as if the air itself was pressing down on David's chest. The rain outside grew heavier, pounding against the windshield, like desperate fingers trying to claw their way inside. David started driving, but something felt wrong. The passenger, silent, unmoving. The air inside the car, heavy, unsettling. He had to break the silence. "What were you doing out here so late? Where are you going?" "I'm going home." David nodded, pressed the gas. But something fell off. The man's clothes, completely dry, no rain on them. His shoes, spotless. It made no sense. He was standing outside in the storm, wasn't he? His grip tightened on the wheel. His eyes flicked to the rearview mirror. His breath caught. The man had no face, just darkness. The radio suddenly crackled to life. A deep, garbled voice murmured something incomprehensible. Static filled the car, drowning out David's thoughts. He reached to turn it off, but his hands were shaking. The headlights flickered. A shadow darted across the road, but when he turned his head, there was nothing there. Suddenly, the car shook. David gasped, gripped the wheel tighter. His pulse pounded in his ears. The man slowly turned his head toward him. A whisper filled the car. "Take me back, or you'll end up like me." David's heart nearly stopped. He slammed his foot on the gas, sped back to where he had picked the man up. Brakes screeched. The car skidded to a stop. David threw open the door. "Get out!" The hitchhiker didn't move. David turned to face him and froze. Now, he had a face, his eye sockets hollow, his mouth stretched into an unnatural grin. David's scream caught in his throat. He reached for the door, shoved the man, but he vanished. Only a cold mist remained, and the sound of laughter. His phone screen suddenly lit up. A message, with no sender. "I warned you." The text disappeared before he could react. The car's engine sputtered, as if something unseen was draining the life out of it. A chill spread through his body, paralyzing him in place. Heart racing, sweat on his brow. He reached a gas station, stumbled out of the car. An old attendant stood behind the counter. David gasped out his story. The old man's face went pale. "You're cursed," the attendant whispered. "That hitchhiker, he died years ago. Right there, on that road. Everyone who picks him up either disappears or goes insane." David never traveled alone at night again, but sometimes he still heard the laughter in his dreams. As the days passed, things got worse. At night, shadows moved in his mirrors. His TV turned on by itself. The radio played whispers. Then, one morning, David woke up, looked in the mirror, and saw nothing. No reflection, only darkness. His hands trembled as he touched the glass. He stumbled back, heart pounding. His phone buzzed again. Another message. "You can't run forever." The lights flickered. The walls groaned as if something unseen was pressing against them. David's ears filled with a faint, distant voice calling his name. It was coming from the mirror. Now! He avoids mirrors. Because when he looks, he doesn't see himself. He sees the hitchhiker. Not everyone should be picked up, because some never get out. Some journeys never end once they begin. The paranormal never stops in Joseph City. If you're still here, you've already taken the ride. Subscribe, but there's no guarantee you'll come back. Turn on notifications. Some stories only arrive at midnight.